¿Qué pasa, gente? En esta partida os muestro cómo el mejor equipo del mundo, el que era mejor equipo del mundo, TSM, tienen en sus manos la victoria para ganar el torneo completamente y ocurre el mayor desastre de la historia de la Global Series. Así que nada, espero que disfrutéis del vídeo y muy atentos porque os va a encantar.
DZ and TSM, the two teams who can win it right here, right now, in match number 6, but just behind them, Oxygen, Pioneers, Alliance, Moist, and Fnatic in phase down with a win here. You would say maybe pushing themselves past that 50-point threshold as we start off with the contest once again.
Yeah, whilst everyone else gets looted and booted, it's Blackhand versus Gambali Otazan. Round number 4 here, as Blackhand have already lost one, but it is a trade straight 1-for-1. And every single time they try and take that height, Gio.
Knocks on either side at the moment. Blackhand still have 2 up. Going to double push the height though. Player's going to drop off, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the win for Blackhand. Gambare Otazan are going to be eliminated, but is there a third party in the vicinity here? Firebeavers have heard this. They know the contest is going down, but are they close enough to capitalize?
I don't think they had the weapons to really try and take this fight. They definitely gave it a good effort, and you could see the pings from a distance, but because they weren't able to close that gap, because the fight was finished quick enough, Firebeavers are going to have to back off here.
Very interesting to see. It's actually 2 players from Firebeavers. This is a deliberate strategy, because over in East Fragment at the moment, 1 player's still there. And that's going to be 9 Impulse. He said, you know what, Taskmaster, all right, if you can go and influence that fight, if you can clean up some KP for us, go and do it. It's risk-free. And when you were looking across, like you say, in the weaponry they're trying to do it with, you know, Havoc with no attachments, you kind of got the idea that this was a deliberate ploy from Firebeavers, but just didn't work.
Well, you can see where the circle's going at the moment. It's a good one for Dark Zero, who are Harvester, an amazing one for NRG, who are landing down towards staging, and Dark Zero are already making their move, as are TSM on the map, who are just going to be shadowing them over towards Harvester. So this is interesting. Our 2 match point teams moving very quickly, but look where TSM are landing. Pioneers are not so far behind.
Yeah, it looks like TSM are going to land inside a Harvester, and you're talking about priority to zone. Well, you've just seen it on the right-hand side of your screen. Dark Zero and TSM both have priority to this zone. NRG staging, that's their home ground. They're heading over to Mirage Etoile at the moment. Blackhand now moving through Landslide, but this is where we expect to see a lot of the action taking place here. Over at staging, like I say, this is where NRG like to drop.
Yeah, Dark Zero have already found a home on the train tracks of staging, and there will be certainly a team who takes that building. Now, because NRG didn't have that ring console, they have moved away to Mirage Etoile, so they won't necessarily have known yet, but will quickly return to staging once they get that information. It may be that TSM take that building shortly. As for Oxygen, they're still making their way down from Lava Fissure, and actually they might come into contact with NRG.
I want to correct myself a little bit there, Dan. I said NRG love to drop over at staging. They maybe change their minds on that. They'd have to drop over at staging at the moment, might be a better indication from what we've heard from the 3 players. But Pioneers, we talked about their rotate. Well, TSM are now inside of staging. Pioneers are up on those tracks, and Dark Zero up on the hill house just to their west. So NRG, who maybe trying to control the height, expecting it to pull down below them onto the kind of geyser little setup that you can see in front of you, those 3 snake-like buildings. Decided if we can control the height for the entirety of this game, then maybe we could be in a good position. But like you said, no ring console to play with here.
Yeah, they did have the survey beacon, so they saw a few teams moving, and now maybe they're getting that information that actually their drop location is where everyone's going to be arriving. It's a frustrating one, but sometimes that happens when you don't have the ring console, as already staging is getting very congested at the moment. NRG did consider taking the fight with Oxygen, but Oxygen are going to be more than happy just to wait this one out. They are 1 point away from match point, so they don't need to force anything. All they need to do is get into the top 15 here, and they will be on match point.
Such an interesting mentality if you're thinking about what Oxygen Esports have to do in this game, right? It's like, yeah, we need 1 more point. That's what we need to do. Get on to match point, get that 50. But then you're thinking, wait, we can't afford to let someone else win this game who's on match point already. So it's not just a case of getting 1 kill. You still have to try and win the game to deny either Dark Zero or TSM doing that. LG Shibas in front of us right now. They're making their rotate as well, all the way over from launch site at the moment, but they've got quite some way to go.
We are going to start to see a few teams get a little bit antsy. I mean, Firebeavers, their drop and their attempt at third partying was a really big display of that, of we need to start getting kills, we need to have a big game to catch up these front runners, because we are falling far too far behind. They're on 13 points at the moment. If they want any chance of winning this tournament, they need to be winning this game, and it has to be a big pop-off one to get close enough to match point. But most importantly, of course, denying the victory. It's now Blackhand and taking this fight with Alliance.
Alliance, they're going to be eliminated. Alliance go out early here at the hands of Blackhand, and Alliance coming into this game only needed 7 points to get onto match point, and now they will have to watch from the lobby. We mentioned TSM and KCP a little bit earlier as well, and how close they were to each other on their rotate. We'll look at the kill feed. House just taking down Naski.
And that could be
lo que está en la última, o esto, deberían de jugar a ganar puntos a tope, porque créeme que del top 18 al top 10, top 12, 13, hay bastante pasta de por medio.
Now KCP are going to have to try and survive as a 2, but TSM have posted up inside of staging here. As Hal connects with a big triple take shot.
That was a headshot that certainly rocks whoever it was on the other side of it. And now doing damage under that bridge. Triple take, probably one of the most undervalued weapons in my opinion. Not only is it the long range, consistent damage you can do to level up the Evos, but up some of the other snipers that you can use really does become a little bit of a pocket shot.
Los gambares siempre mueren, los primeros.
So we can see there, TSM on the south side, Dark Zero on the northern side over towards those tracks, or actually switch those over, it's just on the screen it's the northern side, but technically they're on the south. You asked for a circle that was central enough that could involve both of these teams on set, and we have exactly that. Both Dark Zero and TSM are in a spot where they could win. But there are still 16 more teams who can disrupt that, and there is about 8 other teams who have already found their way into staging 2.
Pioneers eliminated as well. Pioneers are gone.
Wow.
They needed 3 points. So that's 2 teams who were in the chasing pack that we almost kind of assumed would get there.
Prowler y con Winman.
Even a below average performance have fallen early. Now you're looking at Option Esports as the closest still to being able to cross it. But for Dark Zero and TSM fans, you're smiling right now. The closest competition has fallen early.
Whilst it might seem easy to get top 15 for Oxygen here, just to get that one more point, we've seen it so
los Aliens empezaron súper fuerte, llegaron a la final súper fuerte y a la final están como no muy sólidos, ¿no? O sea, van bien, pero tampoco están como se esperaba, ¿no?
2 teams would have to be eliminated for Oxygen to get that extra point. Riddle Order and FaZe are going to be moving in and rotating from the northeast here, but I don't think they'll have to fight because they're going to probably run around one.
It's such an interesting zone, this, just to see where people are placed and the power that a ring console at your POI can have. TSM had it. They had it at Lava Siphon. They had a ring console, and now they are set up inside a zone. NRG didn't. They drop at staging, leave, and now they're going to have to fight their way back in. Yes, the height is great to have over at Mirage.
Sí, los Aliens dominaron mucho hasta la final.
For a team like NRG,
la final le está costando.
Playing off the back of it. Riddle Order now on the edge of Monument, having to take on Fire Beavers, and Fire Beavers, we saw them crafting up those armors. We saw them trying to make a little bit of a cheeky play at the start of this one. Well, now they're going to make a bit more of a straightforward one.
Rain has to back off here. Did connect with a few scout shots, but as soon as Fire Beavers get that little bit of damage, they are a team who like to jump on the opposition team. At the moment, Riddle Order are just backing off further and further. They do not want this fight right now, but Fire Beavers are continuing to push forward.
Taskmaster has his shields broken. There's the ultimate coming in from Bangalore. The smoke goes in and trying to use the Digi here. Nine Impulse to get that initial knock to block the sight. Taskmaster trying to fight her blindly, and now Nine Impulse has gone down. Yu-Gi-Oh gets that first kill. He'll get the finish as well. Can they level up the numbers here? It looks like they're going to turn it into a 2v2. Taskmaster and Orion doing what they can to keep Fire Beavers alive here.
Yeah, if you want to have a chance of getting a match point, you've got to start winning some of these engagements and getting to the late game. As Orion manages to do even more with the car, the scout in the back pocket, but the high ground's there. As it's going to be Riddle Order
but there's
still another team griefing them from a distance.
La Bangalore se la dio pero bien,
Should be able to get out, like you say, got the banner, can get into Monument, and they can get that res away. The team who is closest to them is FaZe, and they've just come through the choke from Harvester, so they are quite some way away. There's not really any worry. The only problem is he's going for the res, of course. FaZe might have seen an opportunity or might think about the fact that that fight might have not been clean, so maybe you're going to think
Los
about
hacen, llevan 2 puntos.
looking at that respawn beacon for a few seconds, but of course that's going to slow their rotating. It looks like that is not the choice coming in from FaZe.
So keep an eye on this kill feed as this next zone closes. If one more team is eliminated and it's not Oxygen Esports, then they will be on match point for the next game. And then their task is to stop TSM or Dark Zero from winning right here, right now in match number 6. As FaZe make their approach, it is just going to be an evac tower down to the south side of Harvester, rotate round, and then maybe go for the southern side of the tracks.
Oxygen and Esports currently set up in Lava Fissure here. The closest team to them is going to be XZ leaving Countdown. And I wonder if they're just going to try and wrap this out. Pick up 1 KP. It doesn't look like that is going to be the choice that's made. As you can see, Vayne is pushed up to watch their backs for now. Reed's kind of just playing a flex position here between his 2 other teammates, making sure he's close enough to support them, but also wide enough to create a little bit of a barrier and command the space that does surround Oxygen Esports right now. Elsewhere, you can see on our map overhead, Pulverex on the edge of zone at the moment, controlling the top of the tracks. Inside the zone, though, TSM. Bang inside of the building of staging. Moist Esports, they're going to be down on the low ground. You've got Dark Zero up on the height. FC Destroy as well, in a very good position as we see the zone pull. All smiles for TSM fans.
Well, remember, both Dark Zero and TSM had ring consoles. Dark Zero chose to play the position they find themselves in. TSM had second choice because they were out there after, and they were like, oh my god, NRG aren't here. We've got this building if we want to take it. And now they are rewarded in absolute gold with that ring pull. 16 squads still remaining. Oxygen still waiting and hoping that someone gets eliminated so they get that 1 placement point. And as Oxygen are forced in by this next ring console, this next ring, excuse me, they really are going to be hoping that someone faults elsewhere. They don't want to have to take a fight until they've secured that 1 extra point.
Riddlorder have managed to get themselves back healthy. And all 3 players will approach this endgame for now. Got some meds to work with as well, so the red's not going to be too much of a problem. They should have to go through the train tunnel, though, in towards Landslide, but 100 Thieves will be in the Vault Tunnel. XZ are set up there at the moment. Elsewhere, Fnatic, the winners of our previous game.
Thank you.
Kind of trapped in a corner now on the tracks. Kill feed is showing TSM once again involved with NRG this time. But Fnatic using this Dark Veil for now, just to survive.
Yeah, NRG are above Fnatic. TSM were able to grief them and were able to get that knock. And you can see NRG are right here. Sorry, below them, excuse me. They've lost Nathan. Now NRG, who drop here at staging, were forced away because they had no ring console. They decided to quickly rotate back from a Mirage Etoile just now. But on their arrival, they were just shot out of the sky and they were griefed. So many players on this map. But still, Hal with this triple take is such a thorn in everyone's side who wants to try and survive on this bridge.
Oh, but here come Pulverex, and all of a sudden Fnatic, who are probably thinking about holding that spot down for some time, are going to have it taken off of them. Yuka's the last one, and Fnatic full. 15 squads now remaining, and what a push from Pulverex.
And what does that mean? It means that Oxygen Esports have got that 1 point they needed to get on to match point. So Oxygen, if this goes to match 7, will have the chance to win here at the ALGS Split 2 playoffs. But they've got to stop Dark Zero and stop TSM. And Dark Zero in the moment, just lost one. It's Blackhand.
Blackhand. Take down Jen Burton. Zero and Zainu have to hold off the pressure that is now coming in. The Q's going to hit 2, though. Silencing the 2 players underneath, but he can't swing. He knows he's going to play close. And Jen Burton might be finished off. Here he is.
Oh, wow, but the push out straight away to do the damage, but they don't get the knock. That's massive for Blackhand because they'll be able to reset, get the bat, and Dark Zero still have to fight this 2 versus 3.
Zero, barely any HP to play with as well. Vayne is going to be the man who gets it. Oxygen and Esports, who just got onto match point, will take out Dark Zero. They will not win it here.
Oxygen are going to be on a warpath now because they don't need to win this game. They just need to delete everyone from this server.
They will be saying, we've done Dark Zero. Where at TSM? Send us towards TSM. Oxygen get the 1 point and then burst into life here on World's Edge. It was a clean pick onto Jen Burton, though. You have to wonder from his point of view what that looked at. Vayne now continuing to keep the pressure on the rest of the lobby as Bugi will fall too.
An unbelievable change of pace from Oxygen. As soon as they secured that point, they instantly started sprinting towards any sort of action and said, hey, it could be one of the two teams we have to take down, and the first one that goes down is one of them. But it means that now it's just down to TSM, who are inside center zone. They are in staging. But this circle will shift ever so slightly away from the building they currently reside in. I can tell you that no one is in the current circle, as now Blackhand, after they lost that one member, they dropped down, they're trying to survive, but there's just too many teams here on set.
Easy Flash left on his own. 13 squads now remaining, make it 12. NRG lose the last player. Sweet cannot rat out to give them any semblance of hope here. LG Shibas trying to work their way in as well. Jaguar is with this G7 scout trying to just pierce away at some armors to create space for them to move forward. LG will be safe inside of that train car that you can see in front of you where Nizol currently resides. But XZ are on the march here as well. And don't forget about XZ. 34 points on the board at the moment. Well within their capabilities to turn that into a 50-point game.
Yeah, Moist, FaZe, XZ, they are in touching distance of match point if they were to get a victory with some kills here. So if TSM don't find a victory, there is certainly a big chance we could have 4 teams on match point. We will at least have 3. XZ now just making sure they smoke off so they can hold this low ground, but they're going to have to keep moving as round 4 is closing, and there's going to be so many eyes on them here.
Yeah, this is really rough, but they've got an evac tower. They have an evac tower. The Arcstar's going to try and deny teams from being able to push and destroy that. And XZ might be able to hit that and get into the sky. Sykes finds one on his way up that as well. Optic Gaming, though, on top of the roof of the Snake building here, outside of that little respawn, pinging frantically to his teammates that there's a team behind that care package. Pulverix eliminated in the meantime. TSM is still alive in this lobby.
There is 6 teams on the eastern side at the moment. TSM are still holding the building at staging. XZ are trying to take up residence next to them as Oxygen are still surviving. And remember, they've got to match point, so all they want to do is try and take out other teams at this point. Evac Tower will go down. Ace the Destroyer has already fallen though, and this is the problem when you're down here in staging. You're so vulnerable when it's teams who are doing that damage. It's still Hal with that triple take.
How up to Red Evo. Oxygen down to 1, but you maybe think that their job is done, but who would the story want to eliminate Oxygen? It would be TSM, but they don't do it themselves. Oxygen eliminated, but on match point. TSM, look at the rotate they have to make though. That zone pull forces them through XZ.
XZ are just below them, which is good news for TSM. The struggle is the fact that 100 Thieves are on the eastern side, and 100 Thieves can hold out TSM in this building. And if they've got grenades, 100 Thieves could stop TSM from winning this one. And look, I love this from TSM. Get some setup already. Get the ability to be able to just push out. The Dark Veil will give them cover from 100 Thieves, but it's about where you go. As soon as you're on that platform for TSM, you're going to be so vulnerable.
Vaxilon's got a Kraber though, and if TSM poke, if TSM prod, then surely he's just going to take a head off. Niazul now trying to hold on here for LG. Will find one, now has to move behind the Newcastle and eliminates FC, destroy. LG stay alive here. Yanya should be able to get rezzed as we're down to just 9.
This next circle is going to be everything. This could define Sunday here at the ALGS Split 2 playoffs. Where did TSM go? Black Hole goes down, Dark Veil's also down as they take the space. They're protected for now, but when these walls fall, they're going to be very vulnerable indeed.
TSM trying to force a back-to-back, looking to become champions once more. Let's jump into a listening with TSM.
What's on the horizon? Loot up, loot up, loot up. You got one under, 1 left.
Van a ganar,
If I get chewed up on, just chill. Chill up, chill, chill. Peek up,
I'm chilling.
Van a ganar.
There's a guy in the smoke here. There's a guy in the smoke. In the smoke, in the smoke. Full team in the smoke.
There's a guy right underneath us.
I'm gonna throw like that. Can we throw
I
like
have 60 energy.
I'm looking at that.
La ganan, gente.
Let's not tunnel on that. Yeah. They're fighting underneath. Can we back up? They're 80 on height. Maybe we go through it. I don't have catwall. I'm down.
Se van a pelear todo, mira, se van a pelear todo. El LG, la Optic Gaming, todos se pelean.
They're dying. Come over here, come on, follow me. Nading that.
Aquí la pueden liar, para mal, me refiero.
Scanning that.
Aquí la pueden liar,
Don't be loud. Stopping. Nice, swap. They might take a few. I'm batting right now. Yeah.
La puedes liar con este puseo,
We have zone. Grab nades. Yeah. Hold. What do you hold? I need heavy ammo bad.
Están pillando loot, creo.
I'm looting right now. I have 60 energy, that's it.
TSM top 5. Optic Gaming eliminated, making the top 4 here as Howe spots out Scurry.
You can feel the tension in the arena. TSM have to move
Exit.
first. They have a
Exit of phase,
40%
please.
conversion rate on World's Edge
Exit
from
of
top
phase.
5s in the regular season.
Exit of phase,
That
por el amor de
increases
Dios,
to
hacer algo.
60% if they get to top 3.
Que alguien mate a alguno de ellos.
At the moment they have the high ground, they move up. Do the other teams know? Have they been watching that kill feed? Are they aware that TSM are in this final circle?
Joder.
Big damage coming in as well from Verholst. The piercing spikes down.
Por favor, que pase algo, que pase algo, please. Que pase algo, gente. Que pase algo, please.
And don't forget about Exet. FaZe are a full 3, 100 Thieves are a solo, Exet a full 3 as well as TSM.
It's a battle of North America in the final circle. And someone's going to have to take down one of their regional friends if they want this tournament to keep going. Now TSM will be forced off the fight, and they might get pushed here because there will be a ground lift behind them.
They're going to get killed behind it. It's Exet!
¡Qué buena!
TSM!
Oh my god!
And here
Oh
comes
my
FaZe
god!
now. Looking to clean up the pieces!
Oh my god!
FaZe are your champions here in Game 6. But it's the Pro League champions Exet that deny TSM a shot at the back-to-back playoffs win.
What an insane grab lift behind TSM.